What's up everyone, MK Tom Brady here. So in this video, I want to show a problem that I really think is a big deal in current Mortal Kombat, starting with MKX and the variation system. So a lot of the times when you see one variation or character basically turn the other character into a variationless version of themselves, it usually means one of those two characters is just really overpowered. Like for an example in this game, like an upgraded Jackie, maybe Cetrion, pre-patched Gearus, or if you want to go back to MKX, Demo Sonya, Original Alien, characters like that where you really just feel like they turn you into a variationless version of yourself. It's not really a situation where you would say, oh, the character that's stuck in that bad situation needs to be buffed. It's just that, oh, well, the other character is just too strong and probably needs to be toned down. And NRS games have these situations regardless of character tier. So I'm using Fujin here because Fujin represents a character that he's not broken. He's probably right where he needs to be. I would say he's pretty fair. He's got some dirt, but he's pretty fair. Situations like this don't happen because a character like Fujin is too strong or needs his moves toned down. This usually happens because NRS is a little too cautious in certain situations, and you have situations like this. So here's Avalanche. It's a solid variation. It's a solid character. It does have somewhat of a mix like Dead of Winter, although it's not particularly damaging like Dead of Winter's is, but you do gain some safety, a little higher measure of safety that Dead of Winter doesn't give you. You also have trapping, so if a character is going to make it tough for you to get in and wants to play at ranges like this, you can trap, keep cutting them off certain knockdowns, you can get a trap out. If you read that they're going to roll or delay wake up or whatever, you can back up, get a trap out, and kind of like mix them into it, etc. We have a situation here in which when you put these two variations together, one variation gets completely wiped out of the game. So first in general, in neutral. Now the problem is when you deal with bad matchups, bad matchups are a part of fighting games. The character you're fighting that puts you in a bad matchup doesn't necessarily mean that character is broken or needs to be toned down or whatever. But bad matchups normally rely on a measure of reads and counterplay, not something that completely shuts down a variation completely, without any type of reads and no counterplay to it. So for example, if you're in like neutral here, we're going to play back here. So if you look at ranges like this, you can pretty much just slide under it. I'm a little too far for that, but even ranges like this, you can just slide, or I'm trying to show the maximum range here. So when you're really far back, you can still punish that. But I just want to show that from, no matter what, even at closer ranges or farther ranges, there is no mix up here. There's no, like, oh, I got tricked by... And all these go into a full combo. So what happens is, from ranges like this, if he Arctic Traps on reaction, you do this. If he Ice Balls, you do that. Both go into full combo. If you do this properly. Let's see. And then you can cancel and go on. So it's a full combo. And same off this too. And then... So either way, it's a full combo punish. And there's no mix-up because you can do it from crouch block. So it's not like, oh, he's going to slide you. You can guard against the slide, Arctic Trap, and Ice Ball all from the same range, which pretty much shuts down all those moves from this range here. Even if Sub-Zero were to do something like this, and Arctic Trap, right? Okay, now you're far away. That doesn't really matter. You can just pretty much easily get up, walk forward, react to it, and still do it, and you have plenty of time. So it's not like, if he Ice Balls, you're tricked, right? It's not really anything like that. I'm just going to slide under it, even though, you don't need to. There's no mind game there. So if you Ice Ball, you can just duck it, nothing happens. And if he Arctic Traps on reaction, you do this. There's no mix up there. So it's not like he has to dash forward and commit to this. And if I have to do this randomly because somebody will say they want to see it done, we'll see this, and then we'll do an Ice Ball, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do an Arctic Trap. And you'll see that there really is No mind game here. There's no counterplay. This is from really far ranges. I was able to block it. And I got the punish. So I'm walking forward, crouch blocking, just in case a slide comes out. So if you slide or ice ball, I block it. And if you do that, I get a punish. So this is really, and even if you say, okay, we'll do a better knockdown, you know, like maybe something that's plus 50. And I'll put the trap up. This is plus 50. And if you time this right, actually it's still a punish. It's a 1 frame window, so you just take practice. And it says punish, say punish there. So it's still a punish. So still you can't. And if he does ice ball, again, there's no mix up. Because if he does this, right, you're still, you know, you get up, you can go through, and you can do the, right through it. So you can get up and dash. And if he does ice ball, you slide, and you can still react to, I mean, it just, you don't even have to dash for the ice ball. You can pretty much just get up and guard the ice ball, get up, crouch block, guard the ice ball, punish the Arctic Trap. And if you look at how far away I am, there's no real risk of me coming in and doing anything. I'm just too far to mix you. So really, in neutral or off any specific knockdown, this happens. You can't Arctic Trap ever, no matter what. You can't ice ball no matter what. Somebody will say, oh, you know, why don't you just back 2? Well, you really can't do that because if he has any type of resource, let's see, right, do this, you can still get up and flawless. Now you can block it, but if you are back up, but if you try to pressure, one, the trap is not going to be there. You get hit with that, or he can also launch you out of that if you try to pressure advantage, so you can back up. So again, it doesn't even give you your guarantee everything. There's no real guarantee there at all. And then when it comes to doing stuff like creeping ice, you know, let's just go over this really quick. Anything like this right here, you know, oh, my bad. You can sweep it. Punish it. I mean, pretty much whatever is. Also, that, you know, he has his options that he can do there. So he can punish it with flawless block, go through it, etc. So creeping ice is very risky. I can't ice ball. I can't Arctic Trap. And this move right here is really, really good. It's 16 frames, has a far reach. So in neutral, I can't really challenge it. So you're pretty much stuck in neutral. Now, normally, Arctic Trap would be really good here because, you know, if he tries to do something like this. But because Arctic Trap is so minus at basically negative 70, he has 70 frames to really punish it. So people say, well, pick a different variation. Okay, well, then you pick Dead of Winter. You have Amplified Ice Ball that does stop this, right? But I believe this right here at 16 frames, like I said, it's still really good in neutral. Yes, Amplified Ice Ball is really, really good. But at the end of the day, you have to go to Dead of Winter and you have to knock Fujin down, right? So you go to Dead of Winter and you knock him down and then you mix, mix, mix. So you can't play Avalanche at all because it turns into a variationless character. There's no counterplay. There's no mind games. There's no who's the better player. The variation just doesn't exist. And it's not even because Fujin is broken. It's because they're just really, really careful with Avalanche. And when you're too careful and you introduce this formula, it causes a situation in which the character is variationless. Not that Avalanche is bad, but this is a situation of how bad matchups are not supposed to be, where there's no counterplay, there's no mind game. You just don't have any moves. And if you go to Dead of Winter, knock them down, mix, mix, mix. And if you're wrong, and if you're just guessing wrong with Dead of Winter, Thin Ice has similar problems to Avalanche. The problem really becomes pick another character. And when a matchup becomes so silly that your only option is knock them down and do endless 50-50s, that's not even counterplay or strategy. That's just relying on just the raw nature of the 50-50 to carry you through a situation. And this is not just a Sub-Zero thing, but I wanted to show it at one of its more extreme examples, and I wanted to show it involving a good character like Avalanche Sub-Zero and a character like Fujin who's not on the same tier as Cetrion or these other characters. And again, there's no, if you guys really need me to, I will make a video of every single matchup that causes this situation. But it just gets redundant after a while. Then it just gets, okay, we got it. The character becomes variationless, blah, blah, blah. But this happens quite a bit. And it happens in situations in which it's not caused by one character being too strong. You know, so this really sucks the fun out of a fighting game. This happens in no other fighting game but Mortal Kombat, in which you get turned into a character with no moves, with no counterplay to it. So I just kind of wanted to show that example because I really feel most people believe that when these situations happen, they happen because one character is just broken or too strong and needs to be toned down. And we see here, this is not a situation of a broken character or something needs to be toned down. It's just Mortal Kombat being Mortal Kombat. Thanks for watching, everyone, and stay tuned for more content.